Matt Roy, where are all these guys walking to?
They're walking to a conclave, Jeffrey Gersman.
Is this?
Yeah, this is the. Yeah.
Is it because it's the Age of Dragons? Are they having a conclave? Are they getting together to go like, are there dragons? Are we in the Dragon Age? I don't know. We should be inquisitive about this.
For a series that is called Dragon Age, there are surprisingly few dragons in this series. Yes, this is more political, this whole thing that starts this game off. I don't know if you haven't played any either of the other Dragon Age games?
I have not. I've fiddled with this game and seen some bits and pieces of it be played. I did not think especially highly of it.
I have been enjoying it quite a bit, but we'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk it down.
Yeah.
So these guys are Templars and Mages, and if you know Dragon Age 2 especially, they don't like each other, and these games are very much about how Templars and Mages don't like each other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're gonna go have a talk. They're going up to this big palace up here until
Until you select new game. Oh, geez. Well,
it went poorly. Their little conclave, their little their thing that they're doing. So, and that's a good, cool little way to start the game. But here's the character creation. This is pretty much the same as Dragon Age 2. I don't think there's any new races or classes or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a character real quick. What do you want to make?
what's up with the Canary?
Canaries are big. They got horns and they're big.
Okay.
They're big horn people. Mage, weapon, and shield. I'm gonna go and make a two-handed. It doesn't really matter at this point because we're just gonna go. I have not tried any of these harder difficulty settings. I've been playing on normal. Combat will provide minimal challenge on casual, I guess, but definitely this game is a decent challenge on normal. You can we'll talk about it in a bit, but it's definitely been a decent challenge. But I haven't. And you can import saves if you want to.
Right, yeah, they have like either imported them from the games themselves or they have this like DragonAgeKeep.com site where you can just go make all the choices quickly or something, right?
Yeah, you can, if you don't have your save from Dragon Age 2, you can go back and remake.
I think that's the only, that might be, I guess I can't say for sure, but I was going to say that might be, or that's probably the most likely option for console players, considering it's on PS4 and Xbox One. And
assume so. I mean, you probably wouldn't be able to port over from
maybe
PS3.
you could cloud save and up.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Yeah.
I've been playing this game on the PC. This is what we're using today, and we'll probably dive into some of the control stuff too. I've been playing with a little mouse and keyboard, a little bit controller. For the most part, I've just been using the controller.
Does it seem like well built for a controller?
Yeah, it's. I mean, you have 8 main action keys that you want to be able to have access to. So playing with the keyboard, you have all of them right away.
Yeah.
With the controller, you have to hold down left trigger and
It's like an action palette swap kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You'll see it in a second. I'm just not. Gosh. Probably shouldn't do too much of this, but yeah, you got the usual BioWare character creation stuff. You can make them look pretty crazy if you want to. Where's the scars at? That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see.
Yeah,
some scars.
more scars.
Got some weird. I'm not really sure how this slider is supposed to work, but it makes this kind of stuff instead of doing like a bunch of little sliders. This actually works pretty well if you want to make your character look really weird.
Do you ever do any of this stuff?
In RPGs, no. I usually just kind of. I don't really bother too much with. I like having a nice looking character, but beyond that, I don't fiddle around with the stuff too much. Except in like Saints Row. I find the Saints Row stuff is usually pretty fun to dig around with, but for the most part, I don't do too much of the stuff.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of options if you want to do weird stuff to your character. So you'll see what my character looks like in a bit. This is not my main character, obviously, since I'm just going through. How do I select? Okay. So you are a survivor of the explosion, and here you are after the exploding thing exploded.
Yeah, okay.
And this only takes a second before you get into the main bit of the game.
Some sort of woman there or something up there?
I haven't. There's a character in the lore of this series that I believe that character is heavily implied to be, but I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm about 33 hours into this game, and I'm level 14. I believe 20 is around where you end up at the end of the game.
Okay.
There's an achievement for hitting 20, so I'm a good, probably halfway through, more than halfway through.
I want to say that, and they always overestimate, they always pump their numbers up when publishers talk about how long a game is. But the documentation they sent along with this said, like, no, you critical path it, it'll take you about 50 or 60 hours.
After you open up the game world and map and stuff, I played about 20 hours before doing any of the main storyline stuff. So I just kind of wandered off.
Was there a lot to do, or were you just like, I need all this serpent stone?
There's plenty to do. It's not all, it's mostly side quests, but you're trying to get levels up and everything like that. The enemies don't scale, so if you over level an area, you can kind of go through and kill everything, which is nice. So I generally, in these kind of games, I try to get really powerful before sweeping through content. And they actually have like recommended level, like the
ranges for areas.
Well, even for quests, like there's some quests that take you off to special areas, and they say level 4 to 7, and I did that when I was level 11, and it was pretty easy. So your character survives the explosion, you wind up getting warped out of the conclave area, and now you have this big glowy green thing on your hand, which comes in pretty handy.
Yeah, no, nice. No, good stuff.
Yeah.
If I could get back there, I would high five you, but...
So you don't know at this point what it is, what's going on. I'm going to skip through some of this. A lot of French people in these games.
It's French video game month, man. Assassin's Creed, it's just...
Except for you.
I'm going to be a dick. I usually do play these games the Paragon way.
Yeah.
Mass Effects. There's no like slider here like telling you how good or evil you are. So it's mostly more about your relationships with people and everything like that.
Yeah, because it'll say stuff like oh, Cassandra strongly approves or whatever, right?
And you don't see that. I mean, some games have had like reputation slider kind of stuff, and you'll see exactly where you are. But this kind of keeps it more obscured. But you do get a sense of how people think of you as you make your actions and everything. Okay, I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. And we'll load up a save from later on in the game. So the explosion has caused a rather bad thing to happen, as you'll see in a second here.
I mean, that doesn't look so bad.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a massive rift into the world of demons. That grows larger with each passing hour.
Each passing hour.
Each passing hour.
It's not the only such rift, just the largest. All were caused by the explosion at the...
An explosion?
This... Unless we act...
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh.
So you can see I'm skipping through dialogue. The game does it pretty well, where it just skips to each line or each little action, and you can bump ahead as much as you want.
Yeah.
I keep subtitles on the whole time, so I usually
so you can
wind
kind of do this if you want.
Yeah.
But generally, how do you feel about the voice acting and kind of these cutscenes?
They're fairly well done. I mean, BioWare is very good at doing this kind of stuff. A lot of the conversations are more, just kind of standing there talking and not all these kind of cuts and everything like that, but they're generally well done. Voice acting is solid. I wouldn't say
it seems like the in-world stuff. I mean, it's not Skyrim. It's not like it's like zooming in on their face, but it's definitely like in-world conversation stuff.
Yeah,
right?
it's
None.
It's well done. I mean, BioWare has been doing this for 15 years now.
Sure.
This kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They have a lot of animators working very hard for years to make these games. Okay, I'm gonna skip forward a little bit.
Your mark must be tested on something.
So I'm going to go ahead and, so this is basically the beginning of the game. You get up to that breach and try to close it with your special hand. But I'm going to go ahead and warp forward a bit.
Okay.
There might be, some of these place names. Oh, I have to switch characters. So you can have as many characters as you want, obviously. I'm going to switch over to Mom, and I'm going to go back down a bit, and we'll try to wander around the hinterlands a bit. See if we can find it. I save a lot in these games. I really do.
It's I imagine that part of that is the leftover remnants of your years writing game guides.
Oh yeah, and luckily this is all cloud save, so it's come between the office and home and everything like that really easily. But yeah, one of the pet peeves I have about the PC version is that if you flip on the controller, the game stops accepting any input from the keyboard.
That's frustrating.
It's
yeah.
Most games, you know, you can. I played
like swap back and forth on the fly, Borderlands, stuff like that.
Hard.
Like yeah.
So that one of the drawbacks of, I mean, there are a lot of drawbacks to that, but one of the problems is that you can't quick save. Like if I'm sitting here right now, I hit F5. Doesn't do anything.
That's
it's annoying. I'm not really sure why. I mean, like I've been playing Dead Rising 3 on Steam, and it's you know, it's easy to the functionality is easy to kind of have, you know, on the fly switching. So I'm not really sure why that decision was made, but it's annoying.
Yeah.
So here we are. This is the Hinterlands. This is the first big zone that you get to after you go through the kind of tutorial area. It's a very, very big zone. Some of these maps are really, really big, and this is the first one. This is definitely one of the bigger ones. Some of the maps later on are much tighter and smaller, but I've gone through most of this area, and I can do a lot of stuff. What do you have?
Well, so when you loaded in there, it popped up and said so and so is ready to report at the war table.
War table.
And tell me about the war table.
Sure, I can actually. Let's go back to Haven. How about that? You do have a base in here in the game. Like every Bioware game, you have some kind of home base where you get to talk to all your party members and everything like that.
If it ain't a spaceship, I ain't interested.
Yeah. So this, in the early part of this game, you're at Haven, which is right near the breach that you do wind up closing, or not closing, but you make it less worse. It's difficult to explain, but yeah. So you have Haven. You have all your. Gosh, where to even start? So there's a game called Dragon Age Inquisition.
Okay.
The main thing you're trying to do is figure out who caused that temple to blow up and who killed basically the Pope. The Pope of this world was killed in that explosion, and you know that somebody's doing some bad shit. So your main goal here is you're starting an Inquisition. You're trying to
because the Templars and mages can't really be trusted because they have the ulterior motives, right?
Yeah.
Are you meant to be some kind of neutral, central, separate faction, or
kind of? I mean, everybody wants to know who killed the divine Justinia person, and
a lot of them think it's you, right?
Some people, yeah, definitely. The fact that you came out of that, you're the only person to survive and had this big green hand now is a little suspicious. Most of the friends that you have no longer think that, but there are some people who still suspect you strongly.
The bits and pieces I've seen of this game involve the Chantry.
Yes,
and
the Chantry.
All those people seem to be real assholes.
Yeah, this game starts off with, good, hey, here's a bang, here's demons, and then for about 20 hours I spent just doing, like, politics stuff.
Yeah,
seems
super political, like whether it's the Templars
or the mages,
the rebel mages, and I guess like the notion that you have a war table where you go to make other decisions probably.
Yeah, this is the war table here. You have two main zones that you can kind of go around. I'm going to get some reports here. You don't do these missions yourself.
I was going to say, is this like the Assassin's Creed stuff where you like send guys out and then time passes?
Yeah, definitely. Real time, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and go over here and collect all these reports and then maybe send out some people on some new. So you have 3 agents or helper people. You have an ambassador, a warrior, soldier guy, and a spy who can all go out and do stuff. So when you pick a new mission, you have to kind of choose which one you want to do, and that'll affect the cooldown time or the amount of time it takes. That's real world time. So if I send this thing out, close the game, and come back 45 minutes later, it'll be done.
Oh, so you don't have to be playing during that time. Okay.
This is all in-game. Yeah. Which is good because one of these missions actually takes a full day, like 24 hours.
Right, okay. Yeah.
So I had to come back to it the day after.
And will this also kind of jump off missions where you have to go do stuff from this table?
Yes.
Or okay.
This is where you have this very weird thing called power. Which is...
You have 49.
I have 49. I have a lot of power. You get a lot of power by just going out in the world and doing quests and stuff like that. And that's kind of representative of your, like, cachet or, how much influence you have. So you spend that power to unlock new zones and everything like that. And this is one of the main missions where I could spend my money here and try to go off and take care of the Templars or talk to them or whatever. I haven't done that quest. So you do spend money to... like this kind of quest, I spent 8 power to unlock an entire new zone, and when you get out of here, you can warp right here, right now. I think fast travel. You can warp right from the war table to there, or you can go back to the main quest map and go from there. I'm going to talk a little bit about mechanics, I guess, while I'm in Haven, because there's a lot of stuff in this game that you can do.
So influence is separate from your character level?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's totally separate. I think I'm, oh gosh.
Vivienne approves.
Vivienne approves. Yeah. Yeah.
She approves of you running in that room and running out? All right.
No, I think that was from the war table.
Okay.
It was something. Sometimes these...
When it resolved, okay.
Yeah, some of these, some of the pop-ups here are kind of delayed in time, so I have no creature research items to remove. I'm going to tap that button a bit. And it'll keep popping up for a while.
Great.
If I do that. So
oh yeah, look at that.
Got to remember not to hit that button a lot. So this is Haven. This is the main kind of town that you start out in and is your home base. And there's plenty of stuff to do and people to talk to in here. I'm going to go ahead and wander around a bit and try to have some conversations. Here's Sarah, one of my favorite characters so far.
Right, yeah?
So this kind of stuff is more like most conversations go. You just kind of...
Oh, yeah.
You just kind of stand here and do your thing. You can move the camera around if you want.
Is she in your party, or is she just like a character in town?
She can be in your party. You make your party when you leave Haven. Everybody else is just kind of wandering around, like, you know.
But she is a potential party member,
yes,
I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can kick her out if I want to.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm not sure. Oh, hell. Let's see what happens.
I don't think you're fitting in the way we need.
Not fitting? Are you daft? You're fighting holes in the sky and you're getting rid of people. No, not people. Just me. I get it.
No easy way to say it. You should just leave.
That's so. Well, it's easy to say you should lump it. You can't kick me out. I quit.
Oh.
In fact, I was never here. A Jenny in the Inquisition. She's with the people. Always was. Piss up a road.
Whoa.
Dang. Sorry, kiddo. Yeah, Sarah's pretty fun. She's a rogue kind of archer and has a lot of good lines, so I recommend playing around with it. Varric's back from Dragon Age 2. He's still got Bianca running around with. Red Lyrium is a big part of this game. It was kind of alluded to a little bit in Dragon Age 2. Dragon Age 2, while we're on the subject, was not a good game. This game is much better than that.
Yeah, that's the impression I get. Is I mean, the Dragon Age 1 was a very serious role-playing game.
Yes.
For people that like that sort of thing. And then Dragon Age 2 kind of made that game on a tighter timetable.
Yeah, it was
with a lot of repeated content, like repeated wall structure or like dungeon layouts and stuff.
It was basically all set in one city. You had some limited outside kind of stuff going on, but it was a step backwards. It was definitely, you know, Dragon Age 1 was... So you do have mounts in this game too, which I'm going to go ahead and...
Does that help with your run speed a lot?
It's weird.
Because the movement speed in this game seems, for the size of the zones, painfully slow.
I'm going to show you a mount in a bit. I'm surprised they put in so much effort into this system, considering that they aren't that much faster than just walking around. There are a lot of mounts, apparently. I have not unlocked very many of them, but there are plenty. You can buy more. Cool. I got a Strider. You can, yeah, it's a weird system. They're not very much faster than just walking around. So and you can't
fight from them or anything.
You can't fight from them. If you get hit, you get knocked off. Apparently, I've never really used them very much. You can't search for stuff like ore and anything like that. Yeah. So you just. So this is the weapon crafting section, which I wanted to talk about a little bit. You have the ability to, obviously, you know, it's an RPG. You have a lot of stuff to use. Yeah. So you have, the UI is not great for this stuff. It's a little complicated to keep everything straight, like what's what and what has.
Yeah, and if you have stuff that's equipped on a different character and stuff like that, it'll at least tell you. But
you can go, lucky if you're in Haven, you can just look at everybody's equipment without having to worry too much about it. Obviously, some of these characters I'm not using very much. But so weapons can have modifications. Let me go back in here and show you my special Templars first. So this has a demon slaying rune on it. There are also grips and hilts and all this kind of stuff. The problem is a lot of the equipment can be, a lot of the modifications can be removed. Let me get back to the weapon one here. So stunning broadsword, if I want to go in here and take this grip off, I can do that. So they're removable, detachable. Runes are permanent.
Okay.
But one of the issues I kind of have with this system is that it's really tough to tell a lot of the weird UI stuff here. Like, if I wanted to craft armor, first off, I would be taking a look at this stuff and trying to figure out if it's better than what I have on right now. But I can't see what I have on right now, so if I want to check, I have to go back, exit out, go to the inventory, go to my armor screen and see what I have here, and then try to do the math in my head to figure out if what I'm crafting is going to be better than what I already have on. Yeah. So that's kind of frustrating. Also, the fact that modifications on weapons, if I go to sell a weapon, it doesn't tell me if this stuff has, oh, I guess I can, yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. So, but sometimes when I have like 20 or 30 weapons to sell, I would like to have a little notice that there's something in there.
There's something in there that you might want to take off and keep. Yeah.
So it's kind of, if I want to check them all, I can do that. But it's the imbued enduring rod, 4 gold for that thing. You sell a lot of crap. You pick up a lot of crap. Wow, this staff is really good. This is a staff I sent somebody off for a day to go get. It does about twice as much damage as comparable staff. So rarity stuff too. This is crafted if it's yellow, green if it's, or not green, but plain if it's common, and then the unique stuff is purple. So yeah, there's a lot of loot. You pick up a lot of stuff. And yeah, you can do.
What percentage of it is useful? Is a lot of it trash?
Yeah, a lot of it's trash. Okay. I mean, but you do have.
Do they have a system in place to like flag something as trash and then hit sell all junk, like that sort of thing?
Yeah, you can do that. You can go to weapons, and if you don't like something, you left trigger to move to valuables, and then when you go to a store, you can just sell all your valuables pretty quickly. Yeah, so that is the
valuables is a really weird term for that.
Yeah, they're not valuable at all. You don't make much money, but you do have to sell them. You have a inventory limit of 60 items, which crafting materials don't count towards that. So luckily, it's pretty forgiving. You can bump it up to you can bump up more if you spend influence points or Inquisition perks. You only get. I don't know if I can actually. Look at all my Inquisition perks without going back to the war table, but you only get like 10 or 11 of them, which I wasn't aware of early on throughout the entire game. You get influence very slowly. So, what was the last thing I wanted to do here? I'm not sure that there is anything more. Kill something. Yeah, let's get out of here and go back to where I was. So that's Haven. There's a bunch of stuff to do, a bunch of people to talk to.
Yeah.
You can make potions and do all that kind of stuff too. This is it's a nice little centralized kind of thing. But yeah, let's get out of here and go back to the hinterlands. Where's the hinterlands? Here we go. So whenever you warp out, you can pick where you want to go. Yeah, let's go kill something. How about that? There's a rift over here, so I'm gonna go and do that.
Yeah, well, let's see some of this. Oh, Sarah with the big X there.
Yeah, sorry. Oh man, I hope she didn't take all her gear with her. I don't actually know who I've been using at this point in the game. Varric's the only option now. Don't know which mage I was using, but I think it's Souls. Let's see. I don't really shuffle up my characters too much, but I've been getting a fair amount more as the game goes along. I think I have like 8 or 9 possible choices when I make my parties. You get 4, and it's the usual stuff. You want probably 2 warriors, a mage, and a archer, or a warrior and a dagger rogue or something like that. But it's pretty standard Holy Trinity. One thing that's interesting is that the mages don't heal anymore. There's no healing spells. There are barriers which will protect you from damage, but if you want to heal up, you have to use potions. Almost exclusively. Potions are pretty easy to.
Do you regen out of combat?
You do not. So
That sounds serious.
Yeah, it's not terrible. I mean, I made my character as a sword and board, standard tank thing, and you get a lot of what's called guard, which it's like basically there's a lot of like secondary health bars in this game. So you get either barriers or guard or stuff like that.
It's a dragon.
Here's my rapid mount.
Is it the Age of Dragons?
Look at him go.
What the hell? Who would ever ride this? This is so slow. This is crazy. Oh, there you go. Okay.
This is the sprint speed, but this is I don't know why. I'm presuming that there might be mounts that go faster later on, but this is hardly a revolution in traversal.
Yeah, this is
It looks neat. I mean, I got a big
ridiculous
crackle disc, but yeah. And if you want to do that, you have to click in your left stick and keep it there.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, that's
how we learn nothing from the Call of Duty.
Yeah. Speaking of clicking in, let me actually get back up here to this. Man, it makes awful sounds too. It's got a nice little. Oh, geez. Okay. So I can either do that, or I can periodically use my warrior skill to just sprint, which is basically about the same speed.
Yeah.
Has to recharge a bit. So when you're wandering around, you do this little thing. You have this little search thing,
Little ping.
looking for items and herbs and quest stuff. I hope you like clicking in on your left stick, Jeff, if you play this game, because you're going to do this a lot.
So I played a quest where you are looking for 4 signs that the wardens were somewhere. And it was the first time that kind of saw that mechanic at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, you're kind of pinging for stuff, but it goes off when it sees resources nodes. And if you're not looking for resource nodes, that's kind of frustrating.
Yes, it's pretty frustrating. I mean, it's you ping a lot of stuff, but the more important, you can find stuff without necessarily pinging.
Yeah.
I mean, if I just walk up to this and get it, I get it. But if it makes that sound.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times I'll be wandering around and I won't be able to see anything. I know something's there, but I have no idea where it is. Sometimes it'll be pinging stuff above you that you can't see. There's a desert zone where that little outline is basically impossible to see. So
great.
It's not a perfect system, and it's. I kind of wish there was a way to just toggle pinging on and off, like to say, hey, I want to look for stuff now. Just let it go.
These people seem to want to fight.
Crap. Yeah, these guys might actually be a little tough for me. These are level 12s. I'm level 9s. This is one of the rifts that they mentioned it earlier in the game. There are tiny rifts all around. A lot of demons popping out. Let's see if I can actually get these guys. And one of the things that you do as you wander around is try to close down as many of these rifts as possible. If I can get to it, where is it? Oh gosh, it's too high.
So you obviously have to be like your main character to do this, because
yes, nobody else can.
The main character has the glowy hand.
Yep.
Will it keep spawning enemies?
It will until that Fade Rift meter up in the upper right goes all the way down. Oh shoot, can I do this? There's a little, there's a little time in between waves, and if you cast Dispel on a thing before it pops up, it will actually, oh, I think I did it. Cool, right on. Way to go. You can actually prevent them from spawning if you cast the right spell at the time.
How's the AI here? So, I mean, like, it seems like combat options, you've got this real-time stuff where you're controlling one character. The other characters do all right? Like, if you weren't playing as your main character, would she eventually close the rift?
Oh, geez. I don't think they would do that. I think that's something you actually have to manually do, but they obviously are doing casting spells and doing stuff on their own without your input. I'll show you a little bit of that. Oh, geez. Come on, heal yourself. I'm actually doing surprisingly well. I'll show you some of the AI settings that they have. It's not particularly full-fleshed.
Yeah.
This isn't Final Fantasy 12 or anything like that, but there are some basic stuff that you can tell them to do. Man, this guy's... Come on, buddy. So I'm a tank. I can taunt. A lot of the times in hard fights, what I wind up doing is taunting tough enemies and... Oh, geez. Oh, come on.
From the outside looking in, this seems like a jumbled mess. Like, it seems like it's hard to see kind of where enemies are, what's going on around the battlefield at a given time. How's that been?
Not too bad. I mean, I've... Oh, geez. Is there more? Are there more? No, there's no more. Let me try and close this thing real quick. It's definitely hectic in fights with a lot of enemies, and you kind of have to focus on yourself. But there is the tactical map thing that you can do. I'll try to get into a fight and use that a little bit. I have not been using it very much. There are... There are some basic stuff that you can tell them to do. I'll try to get into a fight and use that a little bit. I have not been using it very much. There are some basic stuff that you can tell them to do. I'll try to get into a fight and use that a little bit. I have not been using it very much. There are some basic stuff that you can tell them to do. I'll try to get into a fight and use that a little bit. I have not been using it very much. There are On normal, it doesn't seem like it's super necessary. You saw those guys are 3 levels above me, and I still pretty handily won.
And you got some power.
I got some more power. Power is like there are a bunch of different weird kinds of currency in this game. Let me try and get into a fight where I can use that system and see if it helps me out. I think this down south is a little tougher than I should be going at this level, but I'll try it out and see.
That's where tactics come into play.
Yeah. So when you go to your character record, you have all your characters here. You can obviously, luckily, it's cool. Whenever you pick up a new character, they come in at level 1, and they give you as many points as you need to raise them up to your level.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of, you get to craft them all however you want. There's no, except for Varric has to use, I believe he can only use his crossbow, so there's only one thing that he has that special crossbow thing that he can only use, and I don't think he can use regular bows or anything like that. But anyways, let's go back here and I'll show you some of the AI stuff that they have. So you set the abilities and you can map them. You get 8 commands that you can use. You can get more abilities than that, but you can only use 8 at a time.
Okay.
And there are passive abilities too, which just kind of are always active, which is nice. So when you have this kind of stuff, if you want to, so challenge is really good. If I ever switch to somebody else, you can set it to be preferred, which means they'll use that more often than other skills. And so for somebody like Solus, I have Barrier, which he should cast every time it's up. Revival, if anybody goes down, he can kind of revive them, and then you can kind of set whatever else you want to have them use. Or you can turn stuff off too if you just don't want them to use a skill. I haven't done that for any of my characters because if I didn't want them to use a skill, I wouldn't have bought it.
Sure.
But yeah, so this guy has a Horn of Valor, which is a damage and armor bonus for all the whole party. So when I set it to preferred, so as soon as battle starts, you just blow that right away.
Yeah.
And he'll grapple somebody over to him and start fighting. So it's neat. I think I actually bound something twice to him, but for the most part, I'm controlling either my main character or my archer. There's a lot of attributes. This is an RPG.
Oh, yeah.
So you got plenty of this stuff. I don't barely ever look at this.
Yeah, like it seems like it is at least showing that it has some depth in these systems, but you make it sound like the combat is, like you're not using the tactical view, that it's more or less just kind of
hitting people.
Yeah,
really hard.
Hitting people.
But it's fun. I mean, it's. I wouldn't say the combat is as good as something like Dragon's Dogma, which I really enjoyed, but it's still, there's plenty of stuff to do. I would probably enjoy it more if I switched between characters more, but I haven't been doing that too much. So these are the AI tactics. I guess you can actually just turn off AI. I'm not sure why anybody would do that, but so you can. This is basically, there's only 4 options here, which is probably not enough. I would like to have seen something more like, like Final Fantasy XII had a really good kind of, system of what to do in certain situations.
So like a little stack of commands or something.
Yeah,
right?
if you're that barrier spell puts up a second health bar for everybody. I would maybe cast that when I'm below half health or something like little AI stuff like that would have been nice. And you can tell them when to heal themselves and who to follow. You can follow or defend, controlled character, or a target in particular. So it's not particularly robust in here. But they do fine. I have a feeling on harder difficulty levels that this kind of stuff would be more frustrating, but I'm playing on normal, so no skin off my teeth. For the most part, when I am wandering around, I play as my archer because there's a bunch of animals that roam around, and if you kill them, you get leather, and you do need leather. Like blue dot over there.
Don't I know it?
Boop. That had to hurt. I do generally like most of the characters in this game. I don't find any of them are particularly, I'm not going to be writing fan fiction about any of these guys, but they're generally well put together.
How about how about the romance options?
I have only kind of started to scratch the surface on that. You get you saw that spinny wheel thing for dialogue. You get a big heart. It tells you
obviously this is the flirty one.
You can flirt with people. I've made suggestions to certain party members, but I don't think I'm not sure if I've boned anybody yet. 33 hours in. Yeah, I don't know if Varric's an option for bonability. There are certain characters that you can't bone. I believe there is one gay party member who comes out a little bit after you put him into your party, so I'm assuming he's not an option. But yeah, I've made my inroads, but I have not yet. Man, there's just no enemies around. Sometimes this game is a little Spartan in terms of fights.
Just like kind of wandering around.
Oh, geez.
There you go.
Lordy.
Is that a bear?
That is a bear.
Use tactics on this bear.
It's only one enemy, so I probably don't. Jeez, I probably don't really need to.
No, I know.
So what I'm going to do here is taunt him. This is what I do in a lot of these kind of fights. I'm going to taunt a dude and let my teammates.
Oh, just kite him while the Okay.
Yeah, you can guard too. He's probably going to knock me down here. Kind of taunt and let them do the heavy lifting, and I can put my shield up, obviously. So you see that those little shields over my health bar, those are guard shields. So it's basically before they can deal damage to my actual health, they have to break through that.
Okay.
And as a tank, I'm pretty, oh geez, these guys are annoying. These are stealth dudes who will come around and they're not very tough, but they can do a lot of damage pretty quickly. I see you. Another one too.
Well.
Oops, Daisy. Where is he? Oh God, there are a lot of these guys.
I'm not sure what to make of this idea of like, you don't heal out of combat and you have to use potions. Because like, you automatically, or you can replenish your potion supply in town, right?
You can do it at any camp that you go to. You
Okay.
just have a,
it's
have
just
a
like
thing.
a little thing just that gives you all your potions
Yep.
back.
And you get them all back pretty easily. So I've very rarely run out of potions. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna try and let's start a fight. Let's start a fight in
All
this
right.
tactical mode. So here is Varric. I want him to, and you do get a little more information on these guys when you do this.
Yeah.
Is there a spellcaster here? Archer. They're all archers. Okay. Go ahead and use that on him. Again, I haven't fooled around with this too much, so I'm going to try to focus fire this guy down. What else do I have here? Is that Blizzard? It's a problem. These icons don't tell you what the spell is.
Yeah.
So if I'm not quite sure what I'm casting at any given time. I think I exited out of that. Let's see here. What else can I don't think I've mapped all these spells correctly. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm casting, so I'm going to go and do that.
Well, when you confirm it, it'll at least say up by your character bar that that's Ice Mine.
Ice Mine,
I
okay,
guess.
cool.
So you could theoretically just give another command to cancel that one out, or does it string them?
I don't think there's like a way to queue actions or anything like that, but you can advance time.
And
hit the tree! God damn it!
Oh, wow. And you can kind of like just push that right trigger in just a little bit to get slow motion advance time.
Let's see.
Or is it just?
Oh, geez, this guy's going to come around and do bad things to me.
Yeah.
I haven't really used this too much. It hasn't been super necessary, but it seems like it's functional. It's definitely not Dragon Age 1 in terms of. Oh God, there's a bear here too. Great. The enemies will fight each other, so sometimes you'll come across like a bear mauling a pack of dudes. So it's kind of fun to see that happen. Let's see now. You've been taunted. You're going to get grappled. I don't think I have it unlocked here, but the combat gets a little more complicated as the game goes on. There's focus skills that you eventually get, and there are also some combos that you can start using. Make him use a regeneration potion. There are also combos that you can start using. So if you have, if you have a character a cold character can freeze people, and then if you come up and smash him with a combo skill, that'll actually do way more damage. So some neat little tricks that they keep on. I didn't get the focus stuff until I was about 30 hours through the game, so there's definitely... I mean, I was really taking my time with some of the side quests, so I wasn't exactly... So I'm just not doing anything unless I... That's weird. Oh, I'm controlling this character, so she's not a... Can I do this? Guess I can. Oh, gee, God.
Is that another bear?
That's another bear. All right, this is going to go poorly.
I feel like this game would benefit from like showing just the names of all enemies in the area on the upper right or something, just because it's easy to like lose stuff like that.
Yeah, they're definitely on the minimap and stuff like that, but this is going to go poorly, I think. Bears are pretty tough. Actually, maybe I can just ignore. It'd be fun to see. Oh man, this is going to be tough. Let's see. Okay, stop doing that and come back here. Oh, jeez. Where are you going, buddy? Okay. Yeah, this is gonna hurt. He got killed by the bear. There's another dude up here. Let me try to... Now I'm not sure what I want to do.
Kill them all.
Well, at least I can... Yeah, I'm like... Stop.
You got a guy that's was almost down.
Yeah, they will automatically heal themselves. They'll use potions up to... I think you can set the limit beyond which they don't use potions anymore. Yeah. Oh, jeez. He's dead.
How's revival?
If you get out of combat, like if I just run away, I can... they'll just come back to life.
Okay.
And I'm actually going to do that. I think I'm going to run away if 2 of my guys are down. If you get far enough away, you'll drop aggro. It's a pretty simple system. But there's no... Yeah, your entire party has to be down before you actually lose the game. I've never had it happen, so I presume that's what happens in the end. But you can't, warp anywhere unless you exit combat, obviously. Yep. So this is... oh, geez, he's really... Oh, I missed this. Oh, man, I don't even know if I... Oh, God damn it. He's really... you can't mount if you're in combat as well, obviously, so... Jeez. Trying to get my other dude to give him... There we go. Oh, jeez. Oh, lordy.
Okay, sure. Why not?
I have to say this game has not. I haven't had too many bugs or crashes or anything like that. It seems like a pretty solid PC port. It looks good. This is on a 7. This is a 670 here.
Oh, there they are.
Yeah, so they just pop back up and heal. Oh God, there's a bear going after a raccoon or something. I haven't had too many problems. The PC port seems pretty solid. The frame rate in conversations and cutscenes is noticeably lower than in the game. I'm assuming because there's higher, detailed models and stuff like that. But yeah,
I've seen some NPCs like standing 3 feet in the air, some weird shit like that for sure.
I haven't noticed too much of that. It seems like I haven't played either the console version, so I've only been playing on PC. I have a 770 at home, and it runs pretty well, even with like a 5-year-old CPU that I have. I have an i7 920, which I got a long time ago. But if you have probably do need a decent graphics card to make this run.
Not to brag, but my 980 should be showing up in the mail today.
Damn.
I bought one.
That's a nice card. If you want to, we can take a look real quick at the. So this, they do have kind of a fair suite of stuff. All the options that you need. The one thing that I don't have is FOV switching, which is kind of disappointing, but not terribly so.
Yeah.
They also have some cool options for my plasma TV at home. You can actually make the HUD either be always on contextual or always off.
If you're worried about burn-in on your plasma.
I was a little worried about. Oh man. So the one thing I'm worried about now is the compass of the mini-map, because you can't apparently turn that off. But if you set it to contextual, it'll actually pop up the health bars only when you're in combat and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a neat.
I am sorry to have bothered you with my
Oh geez.
questions about your people, Valley.
And they'll just chat it up when you're running around.
They'll talk a lot.
Yeah.
Sarah's really humorous, of the most humorous of the bunch, and this guy Iron Bull is also pretty cool too. I'm assuming there's plenty of. The process of writing these barks is a long one.
So you kind of mentioned that this game is just straight up politics for the first solid chunk of it. Does it get away from that into more action, or
Yes.
what is it? What's the transition?
I don't want to spoil.
Yeah, I mean obviously there's a story thing happens, but then post that, is it just hey, less about the factions, more about the killing? Yeah,
actually the quest I have right here, I don't know if you want to get into it. You basically have to make a choice between mages and Templars, and you help one of the factions.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty good trope of what.
Sure.
Yeah, so after that, it kind of ramps back up to the main thing. Like, Sony blew up 100 people and killed the Pope, and you kind of want to find out what the whole demon deal is. And it does get back to that eventually in a pretty significant way. I just got past that point, and it's kind of when it also unlocks a lot of weird other stuff for you get the focus stuff, you get this training, you apparently get to pick another class. You actually unlock a bunch of new skill trees for most of your characters. One of them becomes, you can unlock necromancy and stuff like that. Huh. So and there are respecs too. You can buy a respec amulet. The first one costs 1 gold. And the other ones cost a little bit more, but it is an option. So This is an area I think a lot of people are going to go into and pretty much immediately die.
This is Dragon.
It is called Dragon Age for a reason.
This is Dragon. All right. I can confirm it is the age of dragons. Oh, that's no good.
Yeah, I have tried to kill the dragon. These guys are not going to be capable of doing it, but I can at least show you a fight. It might be minor. I don't know if you...
I feel like I may have done this at E3.
Oh, okay. Really? Oh, I think this they've shown this, I believe, this fight in trailers and stuff like that before.
Yeah.
I have not yet been able to take him down. Again, my main character now is level 14. This is an earlier save.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to get the 4 handed to me, but...
This slow movement is insane.
Yeah.
For a game that is as like big and as long as this one, that there's no just like...
You move a little faster
out of combat, yeah.
Out of combat, yeah. But as soon as you go into combat, and this thinks I'm still in combat because
Right,
there's
yeah,
a big
yeah.
fucking dragon flyer.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I'd call that combat.
Yeah, so it's contextual, obviously, but you know,
It's frustrating.
The good thing is that it doesn't scale enemies. Like this guy is, I'm not going to be able to beat him. He's level 14, I think, and he's got a big like boss shield around him, so you know he's really tough. But this is definitely a game where you get access to areas that will kill you. So
okay.
it doesn't like
So you
coddle
kinda
you
have
like
to-
that.
How good is it at kind of letting you know that like, hey, this is not the spot for you?
You start, obviously, if you see the enemies, like his level 12 with a big skull
right.
icon,
Yeah,
you can do the
that's no
math
good.
on, you know that, you know, you're outmatched. So this guy actually, I haven't beat him yet, but he's got 4 legs you can individually target and the head. Oh, I should probably turn that HUD back on. I don't think I turned the HUD back on. Yeah, so yeah, they're dying. Oh geez.
Yeah.
He's got this big thing. And this is probably the time when press RS to move through them. Wow, okay. So he's vulnerable to cold. I know that now. He's got a lot of 100,000 health. Jeez. Greater fire resistance. So this is the kind of stuff you need to know, so you can probably come back and try it with an ice mage and stuff like that, or even try different weapons if you want to, different runes and stuff like that. I think I'm about on the. I've got him down to half health on my main party, or my later save party.
Yeah.
But
not an easy fight.
Does not appear to be.
So this game has multiplayer in it.
Yes, it does, and we haven't really talked about that.
Yeah,
too
I mean
much
the game's
ever.
not out yet, so those games are kind of few and far between. But as I understand it, you have played some.
Yes, they have been doing some multiplayer sessions with developers and stuff like that, and it's neat. It's not.
Is it part of the same campaign?
No,
Okay.
it's actually completely separate. There's no co-op at all. There's no like co-op campaign at all.
Okay.
The multiplayer is like a 4-person party that you can either group up with your friends on Origin or do, I think you can do random matchmaking as well. It's kind of a weird, I don't even know how to describe it. It's basically like a co-op action version of the game. There's not a lot of talking. You just kind of go through these little zones and you have, you kill a lot of stuff. And there's completely separate. You don't bring levels over from the main game or anything like that.
So it's not like part of the war table. You're not gaining.
No. It's completely
galactic readiness. It's not influenced by your.
Nope. Completely different inventories. You can buy like potion. You have to.
That's some good looking fire.
Jeez, I was a little distracted there.
It's burning you.
Yeah, I'm dead. This guy's actually really tough to get away from in this fight. He has a little cave over here that you can. Oh God, am I breaking stuff or is he breaking stuff? I like to think that that's me doing that. But yeah, it's completely separate and just, ow.
Tell him to stop shooting you. You've got to get that elf root.
Yeah. Do you like elf root, Jeff? Because you're gonna pick a lot of elf root in this game.
Between the pinging and the elf root, like that's, you want to talk about what I've seen in my time looking at Dragon Age Inquisition. It's been elf root and pinging elf root. And some serpent stone from time to time.
There is a lot of elf root in this game. You're going to pick up quite a bit. I think I have a few hundred of
Do you need a lot of it?
You can. Elf root is used to make regeneration potions. You get potions for free, the health potions, but regeneration potions require elf root.
Okay.
But I've gotten far more elf root than I can ever possibly use at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, multiplayer is neat. I think it's probably more of a value add to this game. This
Yeah,
game is
it's
really
not
a single player thing, but if you enjoy it, it's basically all combat, and it's 4-player, and you chat and everything like that, and you tactical
Same
stuff.
type of characters and abilities and stuff?
Yeah, they shuffle up the ability trees a bit, so there are different classes you can be with kind of a mishmash of abilities, but you can only use 4 abilities at a time, which is kind of weird. There's 8 in the single player game.
Is there like a separate? Is there any kind of progression there where you're like leveling up your multiplayer character?
Yep. You get a lot of experience for each mission. You also get gold, and there are items in that you pick up, but you don't see what they are right away. You kind of just you got an item, and you get it at the end of the end of the mission.
Yeah. Huh.
I'm gonna kill the strat.
Weird.
Yeah, it's an interesting system. Again, it feels like a value add more than something that I really am gonna spend a lot of time on.
Yeah,
but it's neat. There's obviously no time freezing. There's no tactical or anything like that. You're playing with humans, so you kind of have to know what you're doing.
Go for it. Yeah.
I'm surprised I haven't been killed yet. Of course, I ran away.
Yeah, just give it a second here. You'll be dead soon. There you go. No.
I'm gonna kill it single-handedly.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what hitting the legs does. I assume at some point you knock them down and get the access to the head. Am I dying? What's going on here, buddy? I mean, I'm a tank. I should. Oh, there we go. Okay. I got him. I got this guy, so don't worry about it. Oh, there we go.
Oh, no. Your journey ends.
My journey ends. Continue. Jeff, that's Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah.
I'm digging it. I am having a good time. I know Kevin over at GameSpot gave it a very favorable score. I'm 33 hours in, and I think I'm about halfway through as far as I can tell. I've got a bunch of zones I haven't even gone to yet. So if you want a lot of content, this is definitely your game. I'm not crazy about the story yet. It did kind of, again, it was like 20 hours of C-SPAN. Fantasy C-SPAN is all I can say.
Yeah.
It's like, quibbling over politics is not, really one of my favorite things to play through, but it did get back on track with a pretty major set piece, and you find out who your big bad is. So it's good.
Cool.
Dragon Age Inquisition, Jeff. It's good.
It's good.
It's good. I'm looking forward to playing through the rest of this.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you, Matt Rory, for showing that off.
Thank you. I'm just gonna wander around and collect some stuff.
Yeah. No. Go get some more Drakestone.